fuck out of my way, bitch. You think you can take the spotlight, but you can't. Hey guys, what's up? It's Tova coming at you with a new video. Definitely not an old video because that wouldn't make any sense. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite books that I have read to maybe inspire you to read a bit more during this time of quarantine. My main goal is to read 3 books at least a month, which so far I've actually done. My genre of books is either fictional or it's self-improvement, self-growth kind of books. You'll see a trend in my books. The trend is I really enjoy sad books. The character is suffering from some type of mental illness or eating disorder or trouble, grief in their life, and they undergo a life-changing kind of transformation. So I'm just warning you right now because a lot of the books have that pattern, and it's not for any particular reason. I think because I have such a psychology background, like that's what I studied in school for, I naturally kind of gravitate towards those books because it helps me understand it a bit more, not through facts necessarily, but through like actually understanding emotion and like the thought process, because I know a lot of these books are heavily researched and these authors really try and find the right way to show mental illness in their characters in their books. Anyways, I'm rambling, so let's hop into the books. The first book I want to share with you is one of the most recent books that I just read, and that is Paperweight by Meg Hasson. This book is about a girl who suffers from an eating disorder, and her brother passed away, and she has the plan on killing herself at the 1-year anniversary of her brother's passing, and this way that she wants to kill herself is through starvation. Her plan doesn't really go, and she gets put into a home, like a treatment center, where she's forced to recover, and this book kind of takes you along her whole journey. It's an amazing book. Alright, the next book is Girl in Pieces. This one is by Kathleen Glasgow. This book, it's about a very broken girl. This book represents drug addiction, mental health issues, homelessness, trauma, the whole 9 yards. Love it. I think the one thing that really got me in this book is how well it's written. Like, I cried. It really made me feel in this book because it portrays someone being so close to helping themselves and then just everything falling apart and then them rebuilding themselves back up. It's a very heavy one. The next book I want to talk about is All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven. I don't know. You guys might recognize this title because it is now a Netflix movie. I watched the Netflix movie. It was good, but the book is better. This book is written between 2 people, Violet and Finch. Those are the 2 characters, so it kind of goes chapter to chapter between the 2 characters, which is really fun to read sometimes. The book starts at Violet attempting suicide and Finch, the guy character, finding her and stopping her from doing that. Then the book kind of develops into like a history of their problems and like learning to trust again and learning to find a nice friendship and then maybe even a romance. It's a very sad book and it's a sad movie, and I cried reading the book and I cried watching the movie. Read the book. It's really good. If that sounds interesting to you, then I would also recommend reading Every Last Word. This book is by Tamara Island Stone. Some of these authors are like one-hit wonder authors. I haven't heard of them again. So this book is about a girl named Sam, and Sam is a popular girl at school, but she has OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and if I can remember, I don't think she's told any of her friends that she has it. Basically, one day she befriends someone, and this person guides her into a secret area in her school called the Poets Corner, where Sam finds her safe place and she's able to create poetry and express like how she's feeling. However, this book has a very big plot twist. I was not expecting it. I was reading this book and then halfway through I was like, wait bitch, what? I was not expecting it. It was a page turner. It's a really good book. The next book is Eleanor Park. This one is such a classic. I read this one a few years ago though, so I have to kind of brush myself up on it, but I do remember this being one of my favorites. This book is very similar to All the Right Places, where it's written in 2 people, so Eleanor as one person, Park as the other person, and it's about like an old school kind of romance where like these 2 misfits just fall in love, but they are so different in a lot of ways, such as race. They face some challenges because of that. From what I remember, there's no like mental health topics brought up in this book. The way that they develop a friendship and a relationship and like express that and express the challenges is really well written, and I just remember this being a wonderful book. So, and by the way, this book is written by Rainbow Rowell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. The next amazing book I have to share with you is Looking for Alaska by John Green. You guys might recognize the name John Green because John Green wrote The Fault in Our Stars. That was a very, very popular book and movie. Another book that I read that he wrote was Turtles All the Way Down. Both of those are really good books, but if I had to choose a favorite, I would honestly choose Looking for Alaska, because Looking for Alaska is one of those books where the main character, Alaska, she's like one of those wise, mysterious, sexy, cool people that you'd kind of just always want in your life. It made me like fall in love with the character and like want to be her almost, because she was one of those people that like, it's just so intriguing. She's just so intriguing. This book is split up into 2 parts, before and after. So kind of like halfway in the book, it switches. So they tell the story before a certain thing happened and then after a certain thing happened. I won't spoil what that certain thing is, but there's a lot of mystery in this book. They talk a lot about the great perhaps and like the unknown. Next book. Ellen Hopkins, a freaking genius. You might recognize her book Crank, perhaps. Crank was such a famous book back when I was in high school. I've read her books Crank, Perfect, Burn, and Glass. She's known for really big, thick books, but her writing is quite simple. It's like very poetic. Her books are known to be extremely dark, heavy books. This book and all of her other books really have a big emphasis on drug addiction, alcohol abuse, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, eating disorders, just like all of it. Perfect is about a girl named Kara, and she's a popular girl at school, and this book is kind of how far she goes to be perfect, just like the concept of perfect. And if you think about what I told you about Ellen Hopkins types of books, then you can kind of understand where this kind of book goes into with the idea of perfect. The last fictional book that I have to share with you guys is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. You guys might recognize this because it's actually a movie, but I must admit the book is better than the movie. Just in like a short summary, this book is about a popular girl, and she basically gets into an accident and dies. However, she is reliving that day of her, like her last day, over and over and over again in the book until she learns a lesson, like a very valuable lesson. That's all I have to say. I don't want to ruin anything else. I don't even know if I'm like spoiling anything. I hope I'm not. I'm being very careful of my words. The next books I'm just going to share with you are more like self-improvement types of books. So the first book is The Secret. The Secret is by Rhonda Byrne. This is a very factual book about the law of attraction and manifesting what you want into reality. Basically, The Secret states in the law of attraction that everything has a frequency and vibrations. I'm vibrating, this camera's vibrating, like what I want in life is vibrating, and it basically says that we can change our vibrations to put us on a different frequency to get on the same kind of like vibration of what we want. The Secret is explaining how one can pretty much get on the same vibration as the things that they want and therefore manifest everything they want in their life into reality. I've recently been getting into the law of attraction, and this is a very, very helpful book. It was my first book that I've really read on the law of attraction. I think that it is great. If that sounds intriguing to you, pick up this book and read it. There's also a documentary on Netflix, but I truthfully couldn't get into the documentary. There's also The Power, which I read, and it's like a sequel to this, which was also good, but it's a bit repetitive, and if you're looking to get a basic idea, just read The Secret. The next book is probably one of my favorite books of all time, and that is The Alchemist. Holy crap, guys, The Alchemist is so good. The Alchemist is by, should I even say his name? Paulo Coelho. I don't know if I said that right. This book is about a character and his journey to figuring out his destiny and soul's calling in life. This book is about a shepherd boy character named Santiago who travels from his homeland in Spain to the Egyptian desert in search of a treasure that's buried near the pyramids. And as he goes on this trek, he meets several people along the way that provide him insight and lessons, kind of help point him in the direction of the quest and towards the treasure. He himself doesn't know what the treasure is, and nobody else knows what the treasure is, and as he's challenged and goes on this quest, he finds a lot of the treasure that he's looking for is from within. Basically, this book has a lot about listening to your inner voice, your heart, and like your inner calling. The thing I like the most about the way that it's written is that it's not written like a factual like The Secret. The Secret isn't a story, it's more like telling you lessons. And then this is a full-on story, and you interpret the lessons from it. You kind of use your imagination, so it helps you build meaning to the concepts concepts that they're trying to give to you. The last book that I would recommend is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I'm actually not done this. I'm about 3/4 in. This book is by Robin Sharma. This book is told from the perspective of a lawyer, and this lawyer was working under a bigger, more successful lawyer, and this big successful lawyer ended up having a heart attack and nearly dying at a court scene. Gets told by the doctor that he can continue to do law and die, or he can just stop doing law and like live the rest of his life. And so this guy, he sells everything he has. He sells like his home and his private jet, his Ferrari, and he goes to India and treks up the Himalayas. He learns a lot in several years and transcends into this huge spiritual and wise being. He comes back and surprises this lawyer and explains everything he's learned. I can already tell it's gonna be one of my favorites, even though I haven't finished it yet. So yeah, those are all of my favorite books. I definitely have read more books, just so you know. These aren't the only books I've read. These are like my favorite that are worth me actually talking to you about. Welcome to my book club. I hope you haven't heard of some of these and some of these books interested you into buying them. If you do end up reading them, you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is @ToFitness, and you can tell me how you like them, or if you have any questions about these books and want to know about them further, just DM me. That's like the easiest way to reach me, and we can talk about our books there. That being said, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any books that I didn't mention that you think I would like because of like based on the books that I explained here, drop a comment down below and let me know. If you did read some of these books and you want to share your opinion on it, drop a comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe so we become friends. I guess that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again sometime soon, and don't forget to stay cool. Peace.